Jack had a basic philosophy, if I may divert here for a moment, that
Certainly.
As I analyze it, it was obvious that this was his philosophy. The bigger he could make the supporting people that worked with him on the show, the bigger it made the Jack Benny show, and the bigger it made Jack Benny. Now, this is a leaf that I don't think any other comedian ever took out of Jack's book, and it was so sound and successful that I'm surprised somebody else didn't pick it up, too. But that was Jack. That was the generosity and the thoughtfulness and the great showmanship that was reflected in Jack's operation in all the years he was on the air.
Host Posties, or that is Roast Toast Posties, present.
Hey, get that name right, my confused friend. It's Post Toasties. Post Toasties. Crisp, delicious Post Toasties present The Adventures of the Thin Man, starring Claudia.
Although he hammered Smith, Benny was feeling the heat. The Lucky Strike program dropped an additional 3 ratings points. 35% of his audience had left in 4 years. General Foods was retooling for the fall, planning to run The Adventures of the Thin Man on CBS stations opposite the Lucky Strike program. Benny's Sunday ratings had never slipped below 20 points. The comedian wanted to keep it that way. The show returned from summer vacation on Sunday, September 30th, 1945. Broadcast live on all NBC stations at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific Time. By now, an additional transcribed version of the show was broadcast over NBC's West Coast affiliates, like Los Angeles' KFI, at 9:30 Pacific Time.
Hello, National Broadcasting Company.
Say, operator, can you tell me what's on the air at 4 o'clock today?
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny.
Who?
Jack Benny. Gee, Mabel, that's the 6th one today. Well, I'm still ahead. I've got 8. Oh, you're always lucky. You won last year, too. Yeah, Mr. Benny ought to know better than open his program during the hunting season. Yeah. National Broadcasting Company.
Say, operator, can you tell me what's on the air at 4 o'clock today?
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny.
Who?
Jack Benny. Hey, Mabel. What? This one must have used a knife. Yeah, I'll be glad when today is over so I can go home and take off this black dress. Yeah. And it's so hard to talk through this veil. Yeah. Hey, Mabel, look at the switchboard. Jack Benny's dressing room is calling. Shall I take it, Gertrude, or do you want to get it? What's the difference? He's not going to kill himself anyway. Yeah, them that should won't. Yeah. Yes, sir?
Operator, this is Jack Benny. Operator, with the change of time today, I'd like to check my watch. What time is it, please?
It's 20 minutes to 3.
20 minutes to 3? That's funny. I've got 20 minutes to 4.
Well, hold on. Mabel, what time have you got? 20 minutes to 5. But I've got 20 minutes to 3. No, Gertrude, you moved your watch back an hour and you're supposed to move it ahead. Gee, are you dumb? I'm not as dumb as Mr. Benny. He didn't move it at all.
Operator, I heard that, and I'm going to report you.
Gertrude thinks she's smart. What a telephone operator. She's a lousy dancer, too. Well, I better hurry and get ready. After all, it's 20 minutes to something. It's all Rochester's fault. I told him to time change at 2 o'clock in the morning to set all the clocks in the house and my watch, too. Anyway, I better get ready. I wish NBC would give me a better dressing room. This tile floor is so cold on my bare feet. Now, let's see. Where did I put my... Oh, so you finally got here.
Oh, boss!
Rochester, you know this is my first program. I'm nervous and excited. Why do you have to be late?
Wait, I got 20 minutes to 2.
Well, no wonder our watches are all mixed up, and it's your fault.
My fault?
Yeah, what were you supposed to do at 2 o'clock this morning?
At 2 o'clock this morning? Oh, I did that, boss.
You did what?
I tiptoed into your room and put a hot water bottle on your feet.
Is that all you did?
Well, I must confess, boss, I tickled your toes a little.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, and when I saw the way you had your arms around that pillow, I figured you were expecting something.
Rochester, I always sleep with my arms around the pillow.
I know, but last night you looked at it and said, don't you think two can live as cheap as one?
I said that to the pillow?
Yeah, then I waited 3 minutes, and when it didn't answer, I walked out.
Oh, darn, I do the silliest things in my sleep. Imagine talking to a pillow.
The debuting telephone operators, Mabel and Gertrude, were voiced by Benaderet and Sara Berner.
I don't think that anybody, a comedian or an actor of any kind, says to himself at any time, I think I'm going to develop a style. I don't think he would know how to do that. I think you just find it. Innately, there's something that you do that you find out works for you. Some comedians talk very fast. They go from one joke to another joke to another joke, maybe topical humor. Now, I discovered when I first started to talk on the stage that would not have been my style. My style was to talk on a subject and stay on the subject. We never did anything that we thought was going to last. We never framed anything. We never started anything that we said. For instance, I've never gone to my writers, and they never went to me. And it came to me and said, let's make you a stingy character. Let's make Love and Bloom your theme song. Let's have a feud between you and Fred Allen. See, if we'd have framed all of that ahead of time, it would have never worked out. It always started by an accident. By accident, we wrote a couple of stingy jokes, and then they got big laughs, so we, each week or every third week, we would put in a few stingy jokes, and before I knew it, I was a stingy man.
Late in the episode, audiences were introduced to Steve Bradley, voiced by Dick Lane. Bradley would play an integral role for the remainder of 1945.
Maybe it's just that our vines have sour grapes.
No, that's not the case with me. I always give credit where I can. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
My name is Bradley, Steve Bradley. I'm a press agent, and I'm just what the doctor ordered for you.
What?
I'm going to make people know you.
Know me? What are you talking about? I'm on the radio. Everybody knows me.
That's just it. They know you on Sundays, but what about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
What?
People should be Jack Benny conscious all the time, not just on Sundays. Why, what would happen if the smiling Irishman smiled only on Mondays and was a sourpuss the rest of the week?
Well...
And what a dull gal Portia would be if she only faced life on Friday.
Yes, that's all very true.
I know what's on your mind, Benny. You're wondering if I, Jack and Steve Bradley, am the man to do your publicity.
Well, you don't have to be nervous.
Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Benny. I'm the fellow who made Madman Munch lose his temper. I'm the guy who cut Minute Rub down to 30 seconds. And I'm the man who made B.O. what it is today.
Gosh, you have done a lot of high-class work, but I don't think you can do anything for me.
Why, of course I can. What has B.O. got that you haven't got?
Well,
I'll make the world Benny conscious. I'll have your name on the lips of everybody in America. I'll do as much for you as I did for Sammy Klingenpeel.
Klingenpeel, that name is very familiar, but
Yeah, darn right it's familiar, and only because I made the world Klingenpeel conscious.
I know, but...
Why, 2 years ago, Sammy Klingenpeel was just another orchestra leader. But then I got a great idea. I said, look, Sammy, lots of people have gone over Niagara Falls in a barrel, but you're going over Niagara Falls in a barrel filled with wet cement.
Oh, yes, I remember. Wait a minute, he got killed doing it, didn't he?
Sure, but look at the publicity he got. Gosh, I'll never forget the newspaper space I got on his funeral. 40,000 people attended, and we never even found the body.
That's wonderful, but really, Mr. Bradley, I don't think I need
Now, look, Benny, you hire me, and I'll make you famous in every part of the world. In the big cities, in the little towns like Schenectady, Joliet, Salinas, Amarillo, Waukegan, South Bend, Kenosha.
Wait a minute. Everybody in Waukegan knows me.
Well, how do you like that? I'm with you 3 minutes, and you're a celebrity already.
Who, me?
Hard to believe, isn't it? Hard to believe.
Well, look, Mr. Bradley, I've never had a publicity man, so I'll have to think it over. Can I see you after the show?
Why, certainly. You think it over, and in the meantime, I'll go out and order the barrel and the cement.
The what?
See you later.
What a dynamic personality. Maybe he's the kind of a guy I need. How did he impress you, Rochester?
I don't know, but I turned gray and he wasn't even talking to me.
Well, I think he's got something. I'm going to talk to him right after the broadcast. See, it's 3 o'clock by my watch. Turn on the radio, Rochester. Let's see what's on.
Okay.
In radio, you could visualize everything yourself. Like my vault scenes were easier to do on radio than in television. Now, the reason my character sustained so many years, like you say, how could things go on and on? I played a character that included all the faults and the frailties of mankind. See, every family had somebody like me. Either they had an uncle who was stingy, or one who thought he was very sexy and he wasn't. So every family has that kind of a person. Charlie McCarthy? Rochester, it's after 5. I missed my program. And I would see to it that the material I gave them almost fit their characters personally, and particularly their speaking voices.
Stop joking. You think that one person in this company would know what time it is?
Nearly every good comedian has good timing. They couldn't be good without it. Burns has great timing. Ed Wynn had the greatest. Gracie Allen had probably the greatest. She was the great of all time when it came to timing. You have to have real good timing or you can't exist as a comedian.